Good morning. It is 6:16 a.m. on Tuesday, January 23rd, 2018. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So I'm not running late today because I actually got up a little bit before my alarm thanks to a little dog. Um, and I have to tell you, this being on time thing, this not running late thing, it's for the birds, really. I mean, I don't get the appeal, honestly. Um, it doesn't help that just as I was getting ready to fall asleep last night, I made a critical mistake of saying, "Oh, I'll check Twitter one more time." And I mean, that in and of itself was not necessarily a big problem. I mean, I'm usually okay with, just okay, yeah, oh, that looks great. 5 more minutes. Now I'm going to sleep. The yawn, incidentally, organically generated within the little micro scene there. It was something that just happens because I place myself so thoroughly in the reenactment that the yawn just comes. But the problem last night was that when I went to do that one last little check, I noticed that my phone wasn't connected to the Wi-Fi. So, all of a sudden, oh no, what's wrong with the Wi-Fi? Surely this is something that has to be dealt with immediately and not in the morning. So that was actually the mistake. Not so much checking Twitter, because that could have been fine. But the feeling that, oh, well, no, I need to deal with the Wi-Fi right now. I think actually what threw me was that when it tried to connect, it detected the Wi-Fi that it should have, and when I told it to try to connect to it, it said incorrect password. But, I had it saved with the right password, and I also knew the password, so I tried typing it in again. Still said incorrect password, so. It turned out all it needed was for the router to be reset, but of course, by the time I got to that point, I was up and thinking about things again, and so it just probably cheated myself out of a full hour of sleep just because of that whole thing. Wah, wah, wah. They're supposed to announce the Oscar nominations today, so I'm going to be paying attention to that. I think Mike and I are still planning to do our Oscar marathon, although the last few years it's certainly been more difficult to see as many movies. Life proceeds apace, Um, but at the same time, I feel like it's still however many movies we're able to watch during that whole effort. The idea behind it is not necessarily this completionist urge as much as it's just sort of an external motivation to see movies that you might not otherwise see. So, right? Like, that's good. Um, I just was saying, like, that's good, right? Like, there's some objective standard to judge it by, but it's more a matter of there have been lots of movies that I might not have ever seen if not for seeing them as part of the Oscar marathon, and I'm grateful for that. Also, just, like, engages with the film culture. Yeah, so looking forward to that. Um, and yeah, so I've also been doing pretty well the last week or so of actually making forward progress on editing Phyllis Esposito. Um, I went for a long time without really making a lot of headway creatively on any of those projects, but I feel like I'm kind of in a good role right now, where if I just make myself do it a little bit, then I just kind of get in a groove and can do it for a while. So I spent a big chunk of yesterday evening working on that, and that feels pretty good. Um, Although it's definitely one of those I don't know. It's one of those times where it's like things like TV or video games just easily expands to fill any amount of time that you are willing to give them. Whereas stuff that's more productive, you end up feeling like no matter how much you actually do it, you feel like that's not enough. Anyway, I've got to go ahead and finish getting ready for work so I can get in there on time. And I'll talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.